Tuesday, the 29th of September 2009. Hope everyone is doing magnificent. There will be 3 links that I use for this video for stories I'm going to expand on. All the links are in the more info, but brace yourselves for a shock in the first story. You're not going to believe this and you're going to be very surprised because consumer confidence fell unexpectedly to 53.1 from its previous mark of 54.5, and they expected 57. And how could you not expect it to go higher when we're having a jobless recovery right now? We're having the stock market just going up so much higher that apparently everyone on the street, or a good majority of them, must have bought stocks some point at the start of the spring. I mean, you'd be stupid not to. You must have covered your shorts if you had them by that period in March. But of course, in reality, we have more and more people unemployed. The unemployment benefits, what can you buy with them? You can get, once you get past your monthly rent, your utility bill, your food, you really got nothing left if you can even afford that. So how is consumer confidence expected to go higher? I even said in a previous video, I kind of wonder which people that they're actually surveying for the reading. Anyway, nonetheless, I'm not surprised by that one bit at all. Next little bit of article, and a bit of good news for the Federal Reserve, which has pumped easy money into the financial system. Inflation expectations fell to 5.2% from 5.4% in August. This is the lowest mark or lowest reading we have had since October of 2007, so 2 years. Wow, I guess we're doing good then. Inflation's only 5.2%. And this is their expectation. Sort of like how Ben Bernanke is expecting unemployment to top around that 10% mark. And then again, 10%, if you're partially woken up, you're going to be saying, I question that 10%. It seems as if it's more. And if you have woken up, then you know it's fraudulent. And you know the reason why it's fraudulent. And now we have this unemployment number. Is this a fraudulent number? Is it in fact even higher, 6, 7, 8%? And they are expecting it to be that? Man, their expectations have been pretty poor in the past because they didn't expect the unemployment rate to reach this level in 2009. They never expected Lehman Brothers to fall. They never expected the Bear Stearns to go bankrupt, and they never expected consumer confidence to fall this month. So I don't know about your expectations. I mean, are you expecting the Detroit Lions to win the Super Bowl this year? It wouldn't surprise me if you said that they did. Anyway, 5.2% is still a very strong high number. If you have 5.2% year over year, what you're essentially going to be doing is having inflation on top of inflation, sort of like having interest on interest. Because if you take a product, like say a loaf of bread that's $3, and you inflate it 5%, then it's going to go to $3.15. But it had already inflated so much already. It wasn't long ago where bread was $1 a loaf. And going up 15% or 15 cents from that is 15%. And even before, a loaf of bread was 20 cents. So it's inflation on top of inflation, where if you do simple math together, using 5.2% every single year, inflation over 10 years would reach 58%. That means a product that was $1 10 years ago would go up to $1.58. In 25 years at 5.2% every year, 238%, 1,100% over 50 years, and over 100%, so over 100 years, 15,000% over 100 years. So inflation is a serious issue, in my opinion, when we're getting data which is very, very similar to that. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the dollar. We're seeing the stock market this week, so just Monday and a couple hours today, We've seen the stock market up a little over 8%. It was up higher, but the news at 10 o'clock of consumer confidence brought it lower. And at the same point, we have seen the US dollar over the day and a half have a pretty okay rally, gaining about 0.75%. And normally they work inverted with each other. So when you see the dollar fall, which has been going on recently, stocks have been going higher. And when the stocks markets have a day where they may lose a little bit, lose 100 points or 150 on the Dow, then the dollar's going to have a day where it goes higher. But it's not going to always stay this way. As from October of 2007 to July of 2008, both the dollar and the stock market both lost over 20%. And the last half of the 1990s, we've seen the dollar gain about 50% and the stock market gain about 200%. So it's not always going to work out this way. And what I'm interested to see is when the dollar makes new lows, goes below the 70 mark and into the 60s, does this mean stocks are going to do the inverted pattern, maybe see Dow 11, 12,000? I don't know. At some point, I wouldn't be surprised to see them both fall at the same time, to see both stocks going lower and to see the dollar going lower, because you can't always play the same pattern over and over again. And it hasn't played the same pattern anyway, because like I say, sometimes they both go down together and sometimes they work in opposite with each other. Home prices continue to rebound, up 1.2% in July, as first-time home buyers have a credit of $8,000, which is ending at the end of November this year. And I know a lot of people who bought houses in the 2000s upwards to the top in 2006 and 2007, they got hit pretty hard, and the same thing may happen again here. And even if it goes up with inflation, say inflation gets out of control where it's 50% over some significant period of time, if houses only go up 10%, then it really isn't going up whatsoever, because your buying power, if you were to sell it from your purchase price, would be going down a lot lower. So if we do get inflation that gets out of control, watch to see if home prices stabilize, which in a sense would be like falling. And to finish this off, question of the day, Jason writes, say my mortgage is $70,000 and gold goes to $10,000 an ounce. Wouldn't I be able to take 7 of my gold coins and pay off my mortgage, or would they take a new currency, sort of like an Amero? And you don't know what the future is going to hold exactly for fine details, as gold at 10,000 is going to take a significant amount of time, at least a couple years anyway, because I think this year we may be able to top up at best 1,400 at the end of the year, realistically 1,200, 1,250. And next year I think at best we're going to top out at about 3,000 to 4,000, maybe 5,000, which means that by the time we get to gold at $10,000 an ounce, the world's going to have a lot of changes. The dollar would have already had a serious collapse. And yes, maybe there would be a new currency. Use an example for today. If you were to buy gold at, say, $200 an ounce, or you paid $250 an ounce back at the start of the decade, and now you want to pay your mortgage off what you bought today, you're happy with your gain that you had, you have to find a buyer, and that's the way the world works. You need to have a buyer when you're a seller. If you're a buyer, you need to find a seller. Right now, it's not hard to find buyers for gold. In fact, it's easier to find buyers than it is to find sellers right now. And then you'd sell it for dollars, you take the dollars and you pay it off. So it's almost like taking an extra step to do the transaction. How this would work in a couple years from now, I don't know. Maybe gold and silver will be traded at stores. Maybe it won't be, as far as everyday currency. I know I've tried it very little. It's hard to find me in stores because I don't like to do much shopping, and when I do, I'm in and out type of a consumer. But a couple times I have just mentioned, will you make this sale in silver? And I'm still getting a lot of confused looks by people as of now. So it takes a lot of people to wake up to get to this $10,000 or even $2,000 or $4,000 mark. And when people wake up, that means that things are just going to obviously change from there. So thank you for watching, everybody. If you have any questions, feel free to message me. There's a better chance that I'll get back to you if you email me to my actual address, endlessmountain2008@yahoo.ca, as I can actually see which emails I reply back to. On YouTube, a lot of times I get so much that I'll honestly forget about a lot of them. So if you sent me any previous emails that I haven't responded back, keep sending them every so often until you do get one back. And if you do a video question, send it to the email address that 10 megabytes or less. If it is higher, find some sort of site where I can download it from, sort of like a rapid share, and I'll put the question on the air here. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Go out and have yourself an amazing day. Bye-bye.